Peter Pan syndrome, delayed maturity, or divine inner child. Welcome back to School of Soul. I'm Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author. Let's talk about something that gets mislabeled constantly, especially in spiritual circles, artistic spaces, and alternative communities. It's the idea that someone who doesn't follow traditional timelines, who doesn't settle down, who resists becoming a conventional adult, is somehow stunted, immature, avoidant, lost. We've all heard the diagnosis, Peter Pan syndrome. But what if we've got it backward? What if, in some cases, what people call immaturity is actually spiritual sensitivity? What if refusing to conform isn't a weakness, but a refusal to self-abandon? What if that resistance to growing up isn't about irresponsibility, it's about soul preservation? Let's break this down. Peter Pan syndrome is often described as someone who avoids adult responsibilities, commitments, or traditional roles, especially around work, marriage, or financial stability. They may come across as dreamy, playful, impulsive, or even rebellious. But here's the nuance. Not everyone who resists the matrix is immature. Some people are resisting because they see the trap. Some people shouldn't plug into the 9 to 5, shouldn't numb out in a suburb, shouldn't live life on autopilot just to tick boxes. Not because they're lazy or entitled, but because their soul was built for another blueprint entirely. And that inner child energy, the imagination, the vision, the refusal to settle it, isn't always dysfunction. Sometimes it's divine memory, a memory of what life should feel like. A whisper from the soul that says, don't give up your essence just to be accepted. This is the tension of being both old soul and wild soul. You see through the systems, but the world demands submission. You carry childlike wonder, but society demands adult armor. You want to build something real, but not if it means trading your aliveness in the process. And that's where Peter Pan syndrome gets misused. Because sometimes people aren't stuck in childhood. They're refusing to perform adulthood as trauma, as numbness, as compliance, as energetic death. Here's the deeper truth. Many chosen ones, artists, healers, mystics, and visionaries, don't follow linear timelines because their purpose isn't linear. Their timelines are quantum. Their breakthroughs come in cycles. Their maturity comes from depth, not age. Their wisdom shows up as joy, not rigidity. And yet, the world tries to shame them. When will you grow up? Why don't you have a mortgage? You're still playing around online? They get framed as lost, behind, delusional. But let me ask you, who's really lost? The person building something from soul, guided by spirit, shaping their life from alignment, or the person who followed every rule, ticked every box, and still wakes up hollow? We don't call that a syndrome, but maybe we should. Now, this isn't to say all immaturity is divine. There are people who avoid responsibility to escape themselves, who bounce from fantasy to fantasy because they fear facing their wounds. But that's not the same as being unwilling to conform to a life that doesn't resonate. It's important to distinguish between the unhealed inner child and the divine inner child. The unhealed one sabotages, avoids, and numbs. The divine one creates, inspires, and questions systems that destroy joy. And sometimes, what looks like Peter Pan syndrome is actually someone saying, I refuse to live a life that costs me my soul. If that's you, let me affirm something. You are not broken. You are designed differently. You're not late, you're not immature, you're in tune. And your resistance to growing up might be the very thing that keeps your magic alive long enough for the rest of the world to catch up. The same society that mocks dreamers eventually comes to them for vision. The same system that shames the playful eventually turns to them for innovation. The world has always needed the wild ones, the non-linear ones, the ones who didn't give up on their wonder, because those are the people who imagine something new, who remind us of joy, who interrupt the programming. So no, you don't need to become dull, gray, rigid, and scheduled to be mature. You don't need to marry, mortgage, and max out to prove you're serious. You don't need to kill your inner child to be worthy of building something. Real maturity is about sovereignty, not structure. It's about knowing who you are and not folding. It's about living from your center, not the checklist. It's about creating from inspiration, not expectation. So if they say you're Peter Pan, smile. Maybe you are. Maybe you're the one who remembered something they forgot. Maybe you're not avoiding growth. Maybe you're refusing to grow into something you were never meant to become. And if that's true, your syndrome is actually your superpower. Welcome back. I'm Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and this is the Manifestation series, where we don't just talk about manifesting, we master it. Because let's be honest, manifestation has been watered down, reduced to vague quotes, mood boards, and empty promises. But you didn't come here to wish. You came here to build a reality that hits different. A reality that responds to your frequency, your language, your alignment, and your decision to stop playing small. This series is not fluff. It's physics, frequency, and fierce creative power. Inside the Manifestation series, you're going to learn how to collapse timelines, shift identities, and speak worlds into existence, just like the greatest minds in history. This isn't just about being positive. This is about being powerful. Here's what you unlock inside. Vision to reality, the vision board course. You've heard about vision boards, but you've never done them like this. This is a full energetic ritual, a precision-coded map for your subconscious, designed to bridge image, frequency, and strategy. It's not arts and crafts. It's blueprinting your future in visual form and turning it into matter. Time, quantum timelines, and why time isn't real. Manifestation doesn't take time. It takes alignment. In this module, I'll show you how time is just a mirror of energy and how to collapse timelines using choice, clarity, and vibration. Past, present, future, they're happening now. And when you know how to navigate time quantum style, you stop waiting and start receiving. Quantum jumping, instantly up level. Your next level life isn't years away. It's one decision away. In this training, you'll learn how to quantum jump, how to shift into a version of you that already has what you desire. This isn't fantasy. It's how high-performance creators, athletes, and spiritual masters leap beyond limits. Jump now. Land in power. Every word. The power of affirmations and spoken language. Words build worlds. In this course, I show you how to use affirmations like spell work, not just repeating empty mantras, but speaking with vibration, intention, and spiritual force. If you've ever felt like affirmations don't work, this will change everything. You'll learn to command your field, not just request from it. The greats, learning from the most exceptional minds in history. We're not the first to master this. In this legendary module, we decode the techniques, habits, and quantum genius of the world's most powerful manifestors, from ancient sages to modern icons. You'll learn how to think like the greats, move like the greats, and manifest like the greats. This isn't another feel-good series. This is a spiritual weapon, disguised as a manifestation course. It's made for leaders, cycle breakers, visionaries, and soul builders. You don't need another wish list. You need a system that teaches you how to bend reality. This is that system. So if you're ready to stop playing with potential and start creating results, welcome to your next level. The manifestation series is open now. You know what to do. Let's build what they said was impossible and make it inevitable.